Hi everybody, this is Jeff with Brainfood Tutoring, and this is our very first video lesson. This particular lesson is an SAT math problem. I've got a lot of students who are studying for the SAT right now, and a lot of times they have trouble with the math section. But the math section on the SAT does not have to be that difficult. It only tests you up through 9th grade level math. So where the trickery lies is often in the wording of the question. So how we're going to start this out right now is to read the question. So I'm going to do that for you. A lawnmower costs X dollars, and this cost is shared equally by a group of people. In terms of X, how many dollars less will each person contribute if there are 5 people in the group instead of 4? Okay, so the first thing I've done is to isolate the question. I put a box around it. This way, we can always make sure that we know exactly what is being asked and can refer back to it at any time if we need to. The second thing I'm going to do is underline the details I need to solve this problem. So the first one is that the lawnmower costs X dollars, and that the cost is shared equally by a group of people, and that the group of people will consist of both 4 people and 5 people, and that we're going to find out how much less each person has to pay if there's a group of 5 people instead of 4. So this brings us on a couple of tricks that the question is throwing at you. The first one is the word I just underlined, less. A lot of people won't notice that. They'll do the problem out and not notice that it says less. They'll see one of the answers that they used while solving the problem and choose that answer really quickly. So we're going to make sure that we are finding out how many dollars less each person contributes when there's a group of 5 people versus a group of 4 people. The second trick is another one that you're going to see a lot, which is that this whole problem hinges on the cost of the lawnmower, which right now is a variable. We don't know what that is. It's ambiguous. It's hard to work with. So we want to assign a number to that variable. And we want a number that's going to be divisible both by the numbers 4 and 5, because those are the groups that are going to be paying for it. All right, so as you can see at the top right, I've assigned a number to X. I'm going to say that the lawnmower costs $40. This is going to make it a little bit easier for us to plug in numbers to actually work with and find out what the answer can be. All right, so if this lawnmower costs $40, the first thing we're going to do is find out how much each person has to pay if it's being split by a group of 4 people. So it's easy enough. We're going to do 40 divided by 4, and we get $10. So in a group of 4, each person has to pay $10. But what about a group of 5? If we've got a group of 5 people, we're going to divide $40 into 5, and we get $8. Okay, now if I look over here, I see that a couple of these answers involve processes that we just did. X over 5 and X over 4. I put $40 over 4. I put $40 over 5. So you might be inclined to believe that's the right answer had you not read the question carefully. But since we did, we still know that there's more to do. One more step. How many dollars less did each person contribute when we had a group of 5 people versus a group of 4? So I'm going to subtract 8 from 10. I'm going to get $2. $2 less was contributed per person. It's a bad dollar sign. It's a little bit better. So $2 less was contributed when we had a group of 5 people versus a group of 4 people. So when we're looking at our answers, I'm now going to substitute $40 in for X in each of the multiple choices, and when I do that, I should get 2 as my answer. So let's just start with A. 40, if we substitute that into X, 40 divided by 20 is 2. All right, so there's a chance that could be the right answer. We don't want to say that definitively yet because we might get 2 for one of the other ones, in which case we need to revisit the number that we substitute in for X. So what about X over 5? Well, we already did that, and it came out to 8, so that can't be right. What about X over 4? We also did that one, and it came out to 10, so it can't possibly be that. For choice D, 9 times X, that's 9 times 40, equals 360. 360 divided by 20 is 18. It can't be D. And for E, 9x is again 9 times 40, 360. It's way too high. So what that means is we found our final answer. It can only be A, x over 20. Okay, so with this problem, I hope that you take away from it that you should read every SAT math problem really carefully. They are constantly going to try and trip you up on the wording of questions. So always make sure that you know what is being asked of you. Always make sure you're reading for detail. Always test out all the multiple choices to make sure that you have got the right one or that there aren't two that seem to work. That way you'll need to narrow it down more if that's the case. So hopefully this helps you guys. We'll have more lessons to come on the way, and have a good one. Take care.